On today's episode of Nerdy Dating, we talk about how can you make sure that the first person you're going to date with is the person you end up being with for the rest of your life. We also talk about a girl and her boyfriend where she told her boyfriend, hey, let's cut out everybody that we are talking to before we become official. And he, after a year later, is still talking to a girl that he said he cut off before, and she wants to know what to do. We got that stuff and more on this episode. Enjoy. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Nerdy Dating. I am your host, Zakka, and thank you guys for watching this show. Thank you guys for listening. Whether you get your podcast on Spotify, you listen to it on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. Please continue to share and like and follow the podcast. I appreciate every single last one of y'all. Now let's go hop into some of the advice section of the show. All right, let's start off right now. This is from Reddit. Is it possible to intentionally date so that the first person you date is the one you marry? Based on my culture and me as a person, I can never fathom dating someone indefinitely with clear expectations of marriage. My question is, how common is this in online dating for the first person you date to be the one you marry? I don't know how common it is nowadays. Like, I don't know. You have to Google search that and figure out, what's the likelihood of you dating the person that you meet on the first, or marrying the person you meet on the first date. If you're looking for someone on a dating app, most likely it's not going to be the first person that you marry. It'd be nice, the first person you go on a date with, that's the first person you marry, but it's not how it works. You gotta weave through a bunch of people. Now, unless you're going through arranged marriage process, and that's different, where the person's picked out for you and there's not really a choice on, whether or not this person is the person for you, that's different. But as far as dating apps go and online dating, the likelihood the first person that you match with and go on a date with is gonna be the person that you will spend the rest of your life with is, I'll probably put in the 10% or lower. So do not go in the expectation of the date, making this so stressed and so built up that the person you meet on that date is the one you spend the rest of your life with. Don't do that to yourself. Go out there, have fun, get to know somebody, and see how you guys bond, see how you guys speak, see how you guys communicate with one another, and go from there. And then you can make the decision whether or not you want to continue dating this person, but also it takes two to tango. Don't forget that either. It takes two to tango when it comes to if this person is the right person for you. It's both sides. So you go on a date with a person, they also have to be invested and interested in you as well. And you will see that over multiple dates and time, how you guys communicate with one another. So I wouldn't put that stress on you. Don't do that to yourself. Just go have fun, go meet people. And it might take you 4 or 5 dates. It might take you 6 dating, 7 different individual people before you find that person. You're like, oh, okay, this is the one I think I want to move forward with into a relationship. And hopefully they feel the same way about you. But don't put that stress on trying to be the first person that you go on a date with. It got to be the person you marry. Because you'll find yourself in a very stressful and stressed out spot when it comes to dating. Next one here. I talked with my best friend's boyfriend. My best friend is with her boyfriend almost 2 years now. She said he was serious and wanted to marry her. And she's serious as well, but I felt that something was off about him and he's not that into her. Doesn't go out with her, doesn't take care of her, but she loves him, so I wanted to try and add him on Insta as a fake account and see if he accepted. He did accept it and talked to me, flirted, and when I asked him if he is single, he said yes. And he said he wasn't ready for marriage and didn't find the right person yet, and denied the whole relationship of my best friend. Now, what I'm asking is what I did was wrong? ? Should I tell her? ? Or how do I make her see what he's doing without being in the picture? Or should I keep it to myself? This is your best friend, and this person is intentionally trying to step outside of his relationship with your best friend. You have to tell her, as far as you gotta be upfront and honest, and this might might ruin your friendship. Just be honest, but you have to be upfront and honest. Say, hey, I made a fake account, and I tried to talk to your boyfriend to see if he would interact with me. He did. Here's the messages. Show her the messages and let her make the decision on whether or not she wants to continue being with this man or she wants to end the relationship. But it's not gonna look good on your part for you making a whole fake account to kind of catfish him to see if he would cheat. But you did get your answer, and you have to at least tell your best friend that, like, hey, this is a potential thing. If he's willing to do it with me, he's probably gonna be willing to do it with anybody else. I just didn't trust him and once again, this is not your relationship, but the fact that you put yourself in their relationship, you got to go ahead and tell her and let your best friend be the one to make the decision on whether or not she's okay accepting, the fact that he's a possible potential cheater or try to cheat at least. Let's see what some people in the comment section says. Somebody says this, there's only one comment. Take screenshot and show it to your friend. Exactly. I think you should definitely do that, but just be cognizant that she might be upset by the fact that you decide to fake an account to catch him, but heck, you got him. So tell your friend, be upfront with her, and then tell her what you did to get it, and hopefully she won't be upset with you to the point where she's like in your friendship, but maybe she's looking in a way that, okay, at least you're looking out for me. I appreciate it. Don't do that shit again. Pretty much. That's how I would tell my friend, like, thank you so much for giving me the heads up, but do not do that shit again. All right. Next one. Found out my boyfriend, 30 male. Found out my boyfriend, 30 male, I'm 28 female, of the last year is again talking to a woman he met on Bumble before me. Even though he promised he wasn't, how can I explain my hurt to him when he gets defensive? My boyfriend and I have met each other on Bumble and have been exclusive since about a month after we met. When we became exclusive, we had a discussion about stopping dating apps, cutting ties with anyone else we've been talking to, all the things that most people do when they commit to a relationship, or so I thought. There was one woman in particular at the time that he was talking to the most other than me. So there's one woman he's talking to in particular more than he was talking to her. And when we had the exclusivity talk, I brought her up, and we had the same discussion about this person, and he said he would cut ties, and I was his focus. He said he let her know they couldn't speak anymore because he wanted to commit to someone and it wouldn't be the right thing to do. Okay. This was all over a year ago, and now this week I found out they are in contact. He had a lot of Instagram notifications from the same person on his phone, and so I looked it up and saw it was her. When I confronted him about it, he said that they are just friends and didn't see the problem. I told him that it was concerning he didn't see the problem with talking to someone he met on a dating app and promised to end contact with specifically when dating me. He got defensive and said I'm being paranoid and that men and women can still be friends. I said it's not about that, as we both have other friends of multiple genders, mutual and not. It feels like this is something which most people would agree is wrong, and even if it's not physically cheating, it feels like it might as well be. I don't understand how he doesn't get why I'm hurt, or worse, that he gets defensive. I asked if they have been Snapchatting or texting or anything else, and he said no. He said they are not flirting, and I said it doesn't matter if they're just sending a meme or fucking. He lied to me and doesn't respect the agreement we made in a relationship. Our lives are intertwined. We live together and are both on the lease. He has met my family and me met his. I wish he would get his head out of his ass. The thing that is confusing me is he acts like he loves me. He is really caring otherwise, but then he apparently has this blind spot. We talked last night, and I basically said if he wants me to be with him, then he needs to block her on everything and tell her they can't speak anymore again and show me everything. He cried and begged for me for forgiveness and apologized over and over and said he understood that it wasn't wrong what he did, and he would do whatever it takes to make me forgive him. Today, he hasn't done anything yet. I don't want to leave him. I don't want to remind him more than anything. I'm hurt that it seems different than the person I've been with this whole time. The man I've been living with and building a life with suddenly can't tell he was betraying me, or he was too guilty to see it. It really hurts that even after he saw how hurt I am, he isn't rushing to block her and try to prove it to me. I feel like I'm being taken for granted. Is there a better way for me to articulate this to him? I'm hurt, and this is all so new in the last couple of days, and it makes no sense with the person I fell in love with. If he hurt my feelings in another way, he wouldn't sleep until he fixed it. I know the most obvious advice is break up and figure out how to get out of the lease or something, but I'm very hurt right now, and more than anything would like him to see how wrong he was and how much he hurt me and beg me for a chance to fix it and prove it to me. We want people we love to respect us and show us they care when they mess up. ? I explained the situation to my friends, and they mostly agree it was basically cheating, at the very least incredibly careless. Why can't he see that? That was a lot. And I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why he can't see that is because he doesn't think he did anything wrong. For whatever reason, he said he was going to go no contact. That was your agreement. But for whatever reason, after she messaged him on Instagram and he decided to entertain it and go send memes back and forth, he doesn't think what he's doing is wrong. And for a reason, he wants to keep this girl on the hook. Like, wherever, I don't know why, but he wants to. He is wrong in the situation. Yes, he is 1000% wrong. But can you force someone to see the way you feel? You can't do that. If he's not wanting to accept the fact that he hurt you, and he crossed the boundary, if he's not wanting to see that, then you have to make that choice to say, hey, this is a partner I want to be with. Apparently, this girl that he's memeing with on Instagram is a pivotal point in his life for whatever reason. He's keeping her around. Who knows why? But you have to ask yourself, is this something that you can get over, that you told him, whatever the case be, that this girl makes you feel insecure, in other words, feel insecure or threatening, and he should cut it off. And he said he would do that. He has now broke that trust. So it's up to you to be like, do you want to continue being with somebody who's going to constantly break this trust with you? Or would you decide to say, you know what, I'm going to leave, I'm going to get out of this. Now, you are on a lease. This is going to be tough. You decide to break it off with him. But maybe you have to move in with a bunch of friends. Maybe you have to go back to family until the lease is up. Wherever the case may be. Or, pay off his hat or pay off your, I'm not sure how to break, like, wherever it is to get out of that contract, you got to figure it out to get out of that contract if you want to go down that road. Because definitely staying together after you guys break up is not a good route to do. But this is something you have to ask yourself. And maybe if you're like, you know what, I don't want to break up, I want to reestablish this relationship, then you guys have to start from square zero. Go back and break down, what do you consider cheating? What do you consider emotional cheating? What do you consider physical cheating? Go over that list. What do you think? Like, hey, and make sure you have back and forth communication. This is what one person thinks, this is what I think. It comes to agreement on, this is our boundaries. These boundaries can't be crossed, and these boundaries are crossed. It's over. Not a red flag, but it will be over for me. But yeah, you have to make the decision whether or not this is going to end your relationship. And if you decide not to end the relationship, then you have to be honest and say, hey, we cannot do this again. This is my boundaries for cheating. So I consider emotional cheating. So I consider physical cheating, and stick to that. And if he breaks that trust one more time, then you have to make the decision to step out. Now let's see what some people said to her here. And this post is very long, so I do apologize for that, guys. So The person said the last sentence of your header is all wrong. It should be, what steps should I take first to leave him? No conversation is needed. That just opens the door for him to lie and manipulate. He's very clearly across a red line, and you should be either gone or planning your exit while not even telling him. No conversation, no arguments or drama that will come from this is going to be worth it or productive in any way. It's done, so move on. And she said, reading all these comments had me crying. You're right. I deserve to be treated well. And if someone doesn't want to fix my trust, then that's just as bad as breaking it. It's just hard and scary, honestly. This has been my life for over a year, and I've been happy. And now it's turned upside down. I don't know. I don't have anywhere else to go. I don't want to leave our pets or my home. I think I was hoping that I could find ways to make him see what he's doing and want to make up for it and repair. I know it's pathetic, but I'm having a heartbreak enough with this happening that thinking about everything else is like moving is just so overwhelming. I don't know what to do. Yeah, it's let it sit in for a moment. Let it sit in. But you can't force somebody to try to fix your trust. Stop putting that in. Stop putting that power to him. Stop giving that to him. You can't force him to fix your trust. You can't force him to feel the same way you do about it. You can't force him to see the way that you see. Like, how come you can't see it my way? You can't force somebody to do that. If somebody doesn't want to see it the way that you're seeing something, you can't force them to do that. You have to come to a compromise on this. This obviously crossed a boundary on yours. You said from day one, hey, you get this girl out your life, or you're not gonna be together. And they said, I'm choosing her. Right now, a year later, said they're choosing her. One, your happiness cannot be. You can't put all your happiness in somebody else. Right now, you put this dude like, oh, I've been so happy up to this point, and now it's downhill. No, it can be sad, yes. It can be upset, yes. But this man should not dictate your happiness, overall happiness. Yeah, let that be yourself and be like, all right, you know what? I'm better than this. I won't stick around with this. The life I thought I was going to have is over, and you might have to write yourself a letter and write it out and say, you know what? The life I thought I was going to have is over. This is not the life for me that I thought I was going to have. It sucks. It hurts. But you know what? I'm going to make a decision to get out of this contract with my lease. Now, you say you can't move anywhere else? Okay, understood. But what you can do, you can break up. It can be hard to break up and stay within the same household, but you can break up. And, make sure the dogs and pets are taken care of, make sure you get a better place and then leave. As long as you're working, as long as you got a job, you should be set and be good to go. So, yeah, it's a tough situation. But, and I think somebody actually responded back to her comment when she said that, and yes, somebody did. They go, yeah, the consequences of a highly involved relationship ending sucks, is what they said. But for one, you can and will rebuild. And for two, that's why it's extremely important to really, person saying it like that, make sure the person you decide to live with and be with isn't a piece of shit. LOL. I've been on both ends of this. Got way too involved with the wrong person, and leaving was logistically and financially stressful AF. And then been the guy who fucked up early in the relationship, and she should have left. We all learn and grow. Learning experiences in life are almost always really hard, but it'll be valuable for you to learn the lesson, but also the secondary lesson of, holy shit, I am really good at landing on my feet. You got this. You know what? That's a very good post to the original poster. So I'm going to leave it at that and keep it moving. All right, next one. Can I ask on a first date, what is he looking for? Hi, I'm a 30 female, sent a rose to a guy on Hinge, 33 male, and we match. New York City based. So a rose is like a super like on Tinder. You send a rose to somebody, you super like them, you get put at the front of the line, and you know what? They like it, you're good to go. So this person really, really liked this person, and they sent the message, hoping to match. She got the match. All right, so we talked for a bit, and after a few messages, he asked me on a date, but I wasn't in the U.S. And when I was going to come back to the United States, he was in turn outside the U.S. So we're going to meet when we will both be in New York City. His profile doesn't mention what he's looking for. So I was wondering if I could ask when we see each other. I just don't want to seem too eager. His profile doesn't mention what he's looking for. Interesting. It's not that I'm actually looking for a relationship. I just want to get to know the person, but I'm really not into casual hookups. If that's what he's looking for, I'd rather know up front so I don't waste my time. As a guy, even if he's not just looking for a hookup, would it seem too soon to ask this question? Also, I'm new to this app. It is normal to take 4 days to answer? Question mark. New York City based. I keep saying that. All right. Thanks for your answers. So he didn't put it on his profile. What is he looking for? Yeah, it's okay to ask that question on the date. Just be cognizant or be aware when you ask somebody who didn't put on a profile what they're looking for. Ask them in person that they might say something to make it sound like they're looking for the same thing you're looking for. So I would ask, just out of curiosity, I was going through your profile. I'm just curious, what are you looking for? What are you looking to get out of the dating app? What are you looking to get out of the Hinge? What are you looking for? And I would go from there just to see what they say. And they say you something like, try to gauge what you say, and you see their face frown like, well, I'm not looking for anything serious right now. And you start making a face and like, well, I'm looking to find the life partner or whoever comes. Listen to what they say. If somebody's like, I'm looking to find the right person that comes by, or I'm here to have fun or here for the ride, then you kind of be like, all right, this person probably looking for more casual. They say something along the lines of, I'm looking for my person, looking to be, with a life partner or looking to get married. They say something on serious like that, then okay, they might be more serious, but also watch their actions, because sometimes people will say things to see what your reactions are, and they will say things because they think you want to hear it. So you got to be careful of that. Watch the actions after the date. If he says he's looking for something serious, but then he does stuff like not communicating, ghosting, come back around, push you off to the edge, and then come back a little bit later, he's not looking for a serious relationship. Or he messages you at night, he's looking for a serious relationship. But if you get somebody who's like, they see a message, they ask how you doing throughout the day, see what you're up to, then right there, okay, you probably got a serious person who's looking for a very serious partner, or at least the building blocks of a serious person looking for a serious partner. And then from there, go on a few more dates and see how it goes. But both of you guys seem to be in and out of the United States, so that could be something that you guys might think of like, hey, this might not be a serious relationship, but it could be a casual relationship. Also, say you're new to the app. Is it normal to take 4 days to answer? Depends on the person, depending on what they're doing. If the person's traveling a lot, 4 days might be normal for them to answer. If it's somebody who's not traveling, but they're like right there, no, 4 days shouldn't take that long. So once again, keep your options open, keep dating keep swiping on the app. And if you get the first date with this person, go on the first date, have time. But that right there, if they're taking 4 days to respond to you, kind of give you a heads up. This person might be looking for a little more casual. They're not that serious to go on a date with you. They're taking 4 days to respond. So just a little heads up there. All right, next one. Do you message everyone you match with? Whether they message you first or you message them first, have so many guys not message me after matching, even if I said hi first? English must not be their first language. So they're pretty much asking, do you message everyone you match with? And I'm gonna be honest, not everybody matches everybody they match with. No, there's some people who match with somebody because they just find them attractive. It's a like I like this person. At least I'm physically attracted enough to swipe right on them. And then from there, open the profile and realize y'all might not have much in common, or you didn't even pay attention. You're just mindlessly swiping away. Now, Hinge is designed to prevent people from just constantly swiping right. Like I think you get like a limit to like 10 likes a day, and Tinder and Bumble have a limit of, I don't know what that number is, but there's a limit for the unpaid versions. But then you pay for it, and somebody has unlimited matches, unlimited likes, then they're just constantly swiping away. So no, not everybody matches. Not everybody speaks to everybody they match with. Sometimes what can be that somebody match with somebody, they just don't know what to say. And they just like, I can't think of anything, so I'm not going to say anything. But if you reach out to somebody and say hi, they probably just don't want to waste your time. Yeah, they gave you a like. True, there's that validation that somebody thinks you're attractive, but They probably don't want to waste your time and try to figure out how to start a conversation with you, or they don't see it going more than just a simple hello. All right, last one here is another long one. Here we go. Do I reach out again? I'm 27 female, went on a first date with a guy, 30 male, 2 weeks ago. We matched just a few days before and matches back and forth during the day. Neither of us responded immediately, but we were consistent. Things got a bit flirty, but all PG related. We met up for coffee after work and had a really nice time. He greeted me with a handshake and felt a little formal, but the rest of the date was relaxed. Lots of eye contact, both of us leaning across the table towards each other and had an easy flowing conversation. He asked for a second date at the end and I said yes. We swapped numbers and went our separate ways. I was disappointed he didn't offer a hug at the end, but assumed he might be shy with touch. He left the next day for a week-long trip, so I didn't expect constant communication. A few days into his trip, I texted to check in, and he texted back. He's been texting back every 1 or 2 days since. He's been back since Sunday now, and the texting hasn't picked up in pace. I didn't want to push the scheduling another date while he's adjusting back. So I've been waiting on his lead. It felt like he was putting low effort into texting me. I initially didn't ask him a follow-up question in my last text to him on Tuesday. He hadn't included one in a few of his texts, and I was curious if he would keep pushing things forward. He hasn't responded since. What is happening here? Is it possible he's still recovering from his trip, or is he just not that interested? Do I cut my losses? Do I cut my losses? Or send another text? Or if I do reach out, do I wait for him to ask about another date or ask for one myself? Okay, stop playing games. You're gonna find yourself in a world of hurt, trying to figure out somebody's mind, trying to figure out what they're thinking, how to do this and stuff like that. You already went on the first date. He already set you up the first date. At this point, reach out and ask, hey, I had a fun time talking to you on our first date. We'd like to go on a second date. When are you available? I'm available at this time. What about you? And go from there. And then see what his response is. If you ask him for a second date and he goes ghost on you, or he doesn't respond to you, or he just says, no, I'm kind of busy here and there, but never pick let me reschedule time, then you got your answer that he might not be that interested in you to go on a second date. But sitting there wondering, oh, should I let him make the next move? Because if you do that, what he's going to do, he's going to move on to the next person who might got his interest or have attention. You guys not in a relationship, so therefore you guys are open to talk to anybody you want to. He could have other suitors and other pursuers that he's talking to, and you kind of got lost in the shuffle. He went on a week-long vacation. Now that he's back and you know he's back and he is messaging you once every 2 days, just set up that date. Go on a date. How old are you guys? He's 27, or you're 27, he's 30. Ask him on that second date. He already asked for the first date, ask him the second date. Don't feel awkward about it, and see from there and see how he reacts to you. But don't play the game, because you do that, you're going to find yourself missing out on a great person. And there's going to be somebody out there saying, no, the guy should set up the second date again. He already set up the first date. Well, he should set up the second date again. Like, he should set up every date. You have no choice to pick him what y'all want to do for fun. Ask him on a second date. It's okay. The first date already been late. You already know you like each other. Y'all been texting. He went on a vacation. He came back. Say, hey, you're back in town. We'd like to go out to get something to drink. We'd like to go out and get something to eat. We'd like to go for another coffee date. And go from there. Go from there. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I appreciate y'all. Please like, share, follow, and support the podcast. I really appreciate y'all for those who've been doing it. Thank y'all so much for listening. See y'all in the next episode of Nerdy Dating, and keep being awesome. Thank you for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I really appreciate it. If there's another episode you want to watch, you can look at it right there. If you want to subscribe to the page and watch more content, it's down here. Also, you have a question about dating you want to put in the comment section, go ahead and do it. Or you can send me your dating question to my email of alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. And I will answer your question on the next episode of Nerdy Dating. Thank you so much for watching the show. I appreciate you, and keep being awesome.